vigilance, the action or state of keeping careful watch, standing guard, defending the bulwark between the righteous and the godless.
Hey everyone, I'm Lance Earl. Welcome back. Hey, there's a topic that I have been wanting to discuss for quite some time now, and for a number of reasons it just keeps getting pushed to the back of the burner. And that topic is gun-free zones. I first read about a story in Breitbart. It seems that a Tennessee senator, Senator Dolores Gresham, a Republican, is pushing for a bill that allows victims harmed in gun-free zones to sue those who instituted the gun-free zones if they can show that they otherwise would have been armed for self-defense. So here's the deal. Let's assume that you're going into your favorite hamburger joint and, there's a new sign on the door. No guns beyond this point. What do? Well, that's completely up to you, but if you want to honor their wishes, then you must return to your car and leave your gun in the glove box. And then enter the burger joint. So the question then becomes, is the burger joint violating your Second Amendment right? And this is what we need to take a good, strong look at. James Madison, the author of the Constitution of the United States, wrote a paper entitled Property. And he starts it by saying, speaking of property, this term in its particular application means that dominion which one man claims and exercises over the external things of the world, and in exclusion of every other individual. In exclusion of every other individual. If you have a property, you have the right to do with it what you want, to exercise whatever rights, powers, and privileges you decide you want to do. It's your property to manage and maintain as you choose. And we cannot lose sight of that. Therefore, the burger joint has the right to ask you to disarm before you come in, because it's their property and they have the right to exercise, as James Madison said, exclusive dominion. James Madison continues. He says, in its larger and juster meaning, it embraces everything to which a man may attach a value and have a right, and which leaves to everyone else the like advantage. And which leaves to everyone else the like advantage. In other words, you can exercise exclusive dominion over your property right up to the point where you start to take away someone else's rights. Now, there have been many who have argued that when they hang a no guns sign on a business, that they are stripping people that would like to enter that business of their Second Amendment right. No, sir. No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. They are not. And the reason that they're not is because you are not compelled to enter. You see, you have the option to stay armed and stay outside, or to voluntarily disarm and go inside. If you voluntarily disarm and go inside, that is your responsibility. If you get hurt as a consequence of your choice, that also is your responsibility. Now, so we need to be clear on that. However, if we bring a gun in to that property against their wishes, then we are in fact violating their property rights. So, your burger joint, even though we hate gun rights, even though I personally despise gun rights, or not gun rights, boy, did you hear what I just said? Even though we hate gun-free zones, and that I personally despise gun-free zones and think them to be one of the most foolish things a person can do, a property owner has the right to do exactly that, and we have a duty to respect their rights. But there are different types of gun-free zones. I contacted the office of the Bannock County Sheriff. Sheriff Lauren Nelson wasn't in, but I was able to get a hold of Captain Sonisbeck. I asked him if there was a sign that required people to disarm before they come into the sheriff's department. He said, yes, there is. I asked him, is there a sign that requires people to disarm before they go in and get their driver's license? And he said, yes, there is. And so then I asked him, don't you think that's a violation of the Second Amendment? And his answer was this, quote, absolutely not, unquote. Well, Captain Sonisbeck is mistaken. Captain Sonisbeck is in direct violation of the oath he swore to uphold and defend the Constitution. Captain Sonisbeck needs to be educated. You see, there's one major difference between going to the driver's license department to renew your license and going to some dive to eat a hamburger. And the difference is you are compelled to enter and you are compelled to disarm before you do. Therefore, the Bannock County Sheriff's Department is infringing your Second Amendment right. They are enforcing the disarmament of people. Now, Captain Sonisbeck said, it's the same thing as your home. You can tell people they can't come in. No, sir. No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. I can tell people they can't bring their guns in, but I cannot tell them they must come into my home. That is the difference, and that is where Captain Sonisbeck is completely on the wrong side of the Constitution. But he said it was just like my home, and they have the right to do that just as I do. Here's the other thing that he said. He said that the driver's license department can become a little bit tense at times, and people come in and they're very angry and they have a tendency to want to do bad things. He said that if someone comes in and they're angry, they could pull a gun in the driver's license department and they could easily fight their way forward and soon be in the sheriff's office. Well, I questioned him. Well, couldn't they do that anyway, even with your sign? If someone is planning to push past and use a gun to gain access to the sheriff's office, are they really going to worry about the sign that says they can't? He kind of mumbled and bumbled around on that, and I never really did get an answer I could comprehend. But the simple truth is this, and here is the very different contrast. If I go into the burger joint and voluntarily disarm, and I get hurt, the responsibility is mine. If I go to renew my driver's license, and if I am compelled to disarm, and that bad guy comes in and pulls a gun, I cannot defend myself. I cannot defend my family. And it is not my fault. It is the fault of the sheriff. Now, the sheriff has sworn an oath to the Constitution. The sheriff is the highest constitutional power in the county, and yet here they are, demanding that you and I disarm and place ourselves as defenseless victims to the bad guy who might go in and cause problems. Bannock County Sheriff is out of line. Bannock County Sheriff is in violation of the Constitution, and Bannock County Sheriff is stripping the rights of the people of Bannock County. Bannock County Sheriff is doing exactly what Madison said they cannot. They are exercising property rights, but they are not leaving to everyone else the same advantage to exercise their own rights. Think about it. I'm Lance Earl. I'll see you soon.